Hello friends, this is Anurag from Intech Brain Technology. So today we are going to discuss about Spark architecture. During the discussion, we will also come to know about many keywords and jargons. So let's begin with today's session. So these are the couple of the jargons which we will come to know during the discussion of the Spark architecture. So far we already gone through couple of videos about Spark. So let's start from what is Spark. So already we know Spark is a unified analytics engine used for the large scale data processing. It's a distributed computing platform. So why we use Spark? We simply write the applications and execute them on the Spark cluster. Then the important question is how to execute these jobs or the programs with the Spark cluster. So there are the two ways to execute these programs. One is the using the interactive clients, which is Spark Shell or the PySpark, and another is the utilizing the Spark Submit utility, which comes with the Spark itself. So they are the two ways. Okay. So during the interactive client method, this is the method which normally we used to do during the course of learning or the development of the project, but rarely we use it in the production environment. And in the production environment, we use Spark Submit methodology to execute the programs. Okay. So let's move further. By these two ways, one thing is certain that there are the two ways, but nevertheless we are interested in the production environment, because after development of the application, definitely we would like to execute these applications on the production. So we'd be interested to know, what is the way, what exactly the methodology is behind the scene to execute the applications on the cluster environment. Okay. So now let's go to the point how our program gets executed on the Spark cluster. Okay. So there are couple of the important things which are behind the scene are working. Spark behaves on the principle of master slaves. It works as a master slaves. In the Spark, we say the master as a driver and the slaves as a executor. Okay, they work as a master slave methodology, where the driver is the main program, which is the master is the driver, and the slaves as a executor. Okay, driver has the complete responsibility to analyze the things, to distribute the things, to schedule and monitoring the work across the executors. It takes all the status from the executors. And what exactly the executor do? The executor basically execute the code and the task and send back the status back to the driver. Now let's try to see how this driver and executor works together. We submit a application to the driver on a cluster through the client machine, and this driver and the set of the couple of executors simultaneously gets created. So for the application A, suppose on the cluster we submit to the cluster a application A, then the driver and the corresponding couple of executors got created. If suppose we submit another application to the cluster, different set of driver and executors in the similar fashion like the earlier one got created. So if you can see clearly, for each application there are the different set of driver and executors. Okay. So driver will be maintaining, scheduling, monitoring and analyzing the progress of the task execution which is going on the executors and taking the status of the complete task, different tasks getting executed on the different executors. So, if you see during the execution as well, I mean driver is the main thing. If the driver is gone, then it means your application has gone. So, it is very important. Okay. So, now come to the point where these executors and drivers resides. So, driver is the main thing, and there can be the two situations for the driver. Either it can be on the client machine or it can be on the cluster itself. Executors will be always been there on the cluster side only. So, now let us move to the different point. Based upon the situation of the driver, there are the two different modes. One is the client mode and the another is the cluster mode of execution. Okay. Suppose this is the client machine and this is the cluster. So, executors, as I told you, it will be always been on the cluster side only, but the driver can be there on the client machine. If the driver is there on the client machine, then it is the client mode. So, job is submitted to the driver and it is got connected with the executors. Okay. And in the second scenario, where the driver is inside of the cluster, then it is the case, then it will be called as a cluster mode. So, these are the two different modes. In the client mode, you see we have the dependency on our local machine, because driver is on the client or local machine. If you want to execute the programs on the cluster, then it means we have to always make sure that our local machine is always been up. You cannot shut it down, because if it is down, that means your driver is got off and it means your program execution will got halt. So, it is not the case for the production environment. In the production environment, we want independency, and that is the scenario where the cluster mode is useful. That is the, you can say, the realistic scenario where we do not have any dependency on the local machine. Okay. Here in the cluster mode environment, the driver is also resides on the cluster itself. Okay. Now, let us see how resources gets allocated to Spark for drivers and executors. To control this, we need cluster managers. There are 4 cluster managers as of now: Apache Yarn, Apache Mesos, Kubernetes and Standalone. Now, let us see Apache Yarn. Apache Yarn is a cluster manager for Hadoop. It is the most utilized cluster manager for Spark. Apache Mesos is also a cluster manager which can be used when Apache Yarn is not been there, or we are specifically interested to use Apache Mesos. Kubernetes, I don't consider is a full-fledged cluster manager. In fact, is a general purpose container from the Google, but maybe in the future it can emerge as a cluster manager as well. A standalone, it's a most basic and simple type of cluster manager. It comes with the Spark itself. It is not good for the production, but definitely we can use it for the development of the application. Now, let's see how things gets started in any Spark 2.x applications. So, first of all, a Spark session gets created. When we start any Spark client tool, for example Spark Shell or PySpark, then it automatically creates a Spark session for us. A Spark session can be understood like a data structure, where driver manages the work or task and executor status. In client mode, when driver gets started on a client machine and a Spark session gets created by driver, a request goes to Yarn Resource Manager. to create a yarn application, and then the yarn resource manager starts a application master. For client mode, application master acts as a executor launcher. Now application master requests further containers from resource manager. The resource manager will create new containers, and application master will start an executor in each container. And now these executors directly communicate with the driver. Now see the second scenario, which is the cluster mode scenario. In cluster mode case, we submit the package application using the Spark Submit tool. Spark Submit utility will send the yarn application request to the yarn resource manager. The resource manager starts an application master, and then driver starts in the application master container itself. That's the only difference. Rest of the things are the same. In the cluster mode, the driver is residing inside the cluster itself, and in the client mode, the driver resides on the local machine. We can start Spark application on the local mode also. Local mode is the most comfortable and easiest method to start. It is mainly for learning purpose only. Here in this case, we don't need any cluster. We just need a local machine and the Spark on it. Here in this scenario, Spark begins in a JVM and the driver and the executor runs in the same JVM. So that's all. So if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you can get the latest videos. Thank you.